Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the War in the Pacific as we continue. So, it's going to be a few interesting things to do today. Now, I have been organising, and I'm not even quite done yet, but basically I've been organising the cargo hauling aspect of the game. Now, there's a multitude of task forces I've put together, or basically groupings I've put together, for certain missions, to haul certain kinds of resources, whether it be actual legitimate resources, whether it be oil, that sort of thing. So we have most of those set up, not entirely yet. It is quite a number. We're sending around about 100 to 200 cargo ships out to multiple different ports around Japan and to obviously our conquests to take these resources from China, Korea, and etc. to the home island, so we can actually make the good use of it. Now, something I would like to take a look at is really air production, which is something that, as a Japanese player, you can really quite affect, so let's take a quick look. Now, what I'm looking at here is the A6M20. Now, we can see here that we're using 56 engines for the HA35. We have 167 available within the pool itself. If we turn simple off, we should be able to see how many we build each month on average. So this is the airframes, by the way. You can see our losses here. How many are used? Yeah, total build, yet to arrive. So yet to arrive at 936 airframes. We've so far built 645. Okay. Now what we're going to do is take a look at the actual history here. So you can see here, turn 2, we have 27 airframes in the pool, 27 of those airframes in the pool. We're building 56, we've lost 24, use 1. Okay, so we're not repairing any of them currently, which is good to know. But if we take a look at the actual engine section of the tracker, we'll find the HA35, which is just over here. If we take a look at the actual history, you can see here, turn 2 with a pool of 167 HA35s. There's a number of planes that actually do use these bad boys, which we'll find out. So, available, and you can see here just how it changes. So at the moment we're building 180, though each month there will be 160 being built. We can increase the actual amount of production in a few different ways. And hello there, Lorenzo, how you doing, my dude? We can also see down here all the different kinds of planes that use the HA35. So what we do need to bear in mind is there's a number of planes that Japan wants, and a number of planes that Japan does not want to be using, that just are not worthwhile in the slightest. So how it works when it comes to production is it all comes down to R&D and actually upgrading. See, you're going to get every one of these plane models no matter what. We'll get them no matter what we do. They'll arrive on a certain date unless we use our R&D. Now the research and development part is quite interesting. Now if we take a look over here, we'll sort by types. Okay, so we have the A6M30 at Nagoya. Now we can see here, we have no factories as of yet. 24 are to be repaired. So basically how it works is, as this plane comes closer to actual completion, these factories start repairing. And as they start repairing, they need to be fully repaired to start adding points from the R&D to the actual plane development. The more R&D points you have, the more acceleration that you have towards that plane's development. Now what we have to bear in mind is what I'm going to bring up here. So we'll go to the... looking for aircraft comparison. Japan, Japanese Navy. So we'll go with fighter, and you can see here we have the A6M2, the A6M3, A6M3A, A6M5, A6M5B, A6M5C, A6M80. So this is the Zero family, which we have to bear in mind. So as you can see, we have the different models here, the M3A, A6M5, the 5B variant, the 5C variant, and the M8 variant. Now, these planes will arrive at different days. So you can see here, this one would arrive in 1945, in the 8th month. We already have the A6M2, which has already arrived, it's already ready to be used. The A6M3, however, would arrive in the 6th month of 1942. So what we can do is start to work towards this. We could probably accelerate this by, I don't know, maybe about a month or so. But the idea here is that you're not working towards a single plane as such, you're working towards a series of planes. Now, how research and development works is, let's see, sort by size. I need to find something. Right, we might not have it due to the time yet. Okay. So what's the general goal? War in China is still hot, right? Yes, the war in China is still hot at this moment in time. The goal is to... See, I don't know if victory is entirely possible. It would really come down to a series of war-winning moves. If we do destroy a few allied carrier vessels, then we might have a good chance. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. We'll see how we go. Okay. So I'm going to put this down to the fact that... oh, right, here we go. Okay. So the KI-49 La Helen. We have 14 factories here, 14 R&D stations basically, that are completely ready. So we're actually gaining research and development points from this now. So if I bring up the KI-49, bring that back up here. I'm going to assume the KI-49 is an Imperial Japanese Army. KI-49 Helen. Might not even be a fighter. I'm going to assume... We'll go with that. KI-49. Yeah, here we go. So the KI-49, you can see this is going to arrive in 1942 in the 4th month. So because of that time difference, we're actually starting to get these points here, so that's when that will arrive. If we had more research development dedicated towards this, we could actually increase that. Now, how it works is, if we have the KI-49 family, what you do once you have this full production is you could then, once the model is available, is you could then immediately switch this production, well, this development to the next model in line. And when you do that, you keep all of these factories. If you change, let's say, for example, we have a A6M2 factory somewhere. Okay, we'll take the A6M3 factory, research and development over here. Now, if we had this and we switched it to the KI-49, we'd have a massive penalty. So we have 24 theoretically in total here. If all 24 were ready and able to be used, if we were to then switch it over to the production, well, the development of a 4-engine bomber, we'd have a heavy penalty. We'd lose a good majority of these research and development factories. Basically, if you have a single-engine research and development facility, you want to keep it towards single-engined. If it's 4-engined, keep it towards 4-engined, that sort of thing, because you do not take that penalty then by changing them up or down. So, let's say we have the A6M30 pretty much ready. What you could then do is, let's bring it up here by type. So let's see how many. Right, see, now we have the A6M30, A6M5. Are you religious? Not particularly. Interesting question. Right, okay, so anyway. Right. So you can see A6M5 is, yeah, development time for the A6M3 is the closest. So this will start to repair in time. Now, what we could do is we could actually change these over to the A6M3, which might not be the best idea. Not entirely sure if I'd like to do that. What I could potentially do is change some factories, some research and development facilities from planes that we don't want to be using towards that, and then it's not going to be such a big problem. As there's a lot of models I don't really want, to be fair. A lot of the Imperial Japanese Army models, they're just, I don't know, they're just not so good. I just like the Zeros. The Zeros are just superb aircraft. And if we could produce more of them and actually get them out there quicker, that would be quite good. So, yes, say the A6M30 was ready, we had all 24 R&D facilities fully ready to go. Once this went into production, you have two choices basically. Once it's ready, you could have the R&D facility stay as an R&D facility, or you could then have it switched over to full production, so it becomes a full production line. So then, it's an interesting choice. You really want to wait until the last moment, until all the factories are ready. It's an interesting way. It's, how to explain? It's a little bit of a complicated concept, really. I'm trying to digest it myself and make it approachable by a lot of people. But basically, I'm saying basically a lot. Normal industry repairs by around about 1 point per month. So the factories that we're actually expanding, let's say, we'll go to the vehicle production over here. So you can see here we're expanding this by 12, 2, 7, 15, 16, 10. Right, now what that means is basically this is going to take about 12 days perhaps. I think it's a day, 1 point per day, or it might be 1 point per month. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's probably 1 point per month, to be fair. It's one of those. But basically, that's going to take time to actually kick up into high gear. That's like repairing at a rate of 1. With R&D, it doesn't repair at a rate of 1. The rate of repair increases the closer to the date it gets, which is an interesting thing. Obviously, the more R&D that you have on that plane, the closer the date comes. So then, theoretically, the more your R&D repairs. The amount of R&D factories you have increases the amount of chance that your R&D factories will repair, and therefore increase the amount of R&D that you actually generate. It's quite an interesting system. I really do enjoy it. It could do a bit of explanation towards like newer players, but it's a very interesting and in-depth system, which is really quite nice. Now, what I'm doing here is really, I'd like to take a look at our production. So we'll take a look at the aircraft production. And we'll go to engines, and now we're going to take a look at the HA-35. So planning pop-up over here. Now, if we sort by available, we can see the different aircrafts down here. What we probably want to do then is sort of decide on the aircraft we don't want to be using anymore. And we could potentially stop some of that production there and save some heavy industry. Now, if we actually go back over here, and we go to industry chart, here we go. So you can see it's 18 heavy industry per engine, 18 heavy industry per airframe, and per engine. I believe it's per airframe and engine. Definitely for engines. Sup, Nicholas? How you doing, my dude? So what we could do is we could start the production of a few airframes or engine types that we're not going to use. I'd say probably avoid doing it for engine types because it's always handy to have those dudes. Airframes, we can phase out some aircraft that would just not worth our time, just not very good. So then we could actually save some of that heavy industry, which could go into engines, could go into vehicles, armaments, naval yard, merchant yard, that sort of thing. It could go elsewhere, which is always a good thing. You can see here that we have a total of 6,950 heavy industrial points, which are doubled to 13,900. Yeah, these heavy industrial points go down here, so 8,946 go down here, 4,954 go over to here. It's an interesting chart. I'm not explaining it very well at all. Indeed. Sup, Knife fan, hello there, come sup, Pack. How you doing, my dudes? But either way, it's going to be one of those where we're going to have to look at the aircraft, we're going to have to decide what we actually want to keep and what we actually want to produce. So if we take a look at air production, and I reckon if we go over into the actual tab over here, make it a little bit easier. So we'll go to engines, so that's the aircraft factories. I see, that might be the one to sort by. I should go to engines. So sort by type. We'll sort by size and producing, really. So you can see here, the factory at Tokyo, the Nakajima factory, is producing about 180 of these babies a month. Now, we could increase this production right now, but increasing production requires supply, requires manpower, requires heavy industry. So it's one of those where, is it really worth increasing the production of the HA-35 engine now? I wouldn't say so now. I'd say what we want to do is get the new airframes, like the new models, and then go for stuff like that. Because in the meantime, we could use that supply, that manpower, that heavy industry elsewhere. I think that's going to be better use, because it's like, if we, I don't know, we could change this Hitachi factory to start producing the HA-35 engine, but we'd lose all 4 of these factories, so it'd be a massive drop in production. But then, over time, it would increase the actual output of the engines. But during that time, we're spending supply, manpower, and heavy industry. And what are we really gaining? More engines? But what we lost in the meantime, and where could those resources spent have been used elsewhere? Now, I realise this has been about 15.5 minutes of a bit of rambling. It's like, it makes sense, it's just a little bit difficult to explain. It's one of those where it's going to become more familiar as we go through the series, really. So, yeah, we'll just go with that. Okay. So in terms of engine production, we're producing the most of the HA-35, which is quite good. I like the HA-35. There's a lot of planes that do use the HA-35, which is pretty sweet. HA-33, 32, 31. So what we're going to do is, let's take a quick look at the air tab over here. Okay. Now the 0. The A6M20 will use the actual HA-35. Do we only have the one A6M20 factory? We do. We do. Now we do have the B5N2 Kate over here. Now this is going to be the area where we could actually change things a little bit. We could increase the actual amount of airframes being produced, which would be quite interesting. Basically, you need one airframe, you need one engine. Those both together, plus some manpower, I believe, does actually create your fighter squadron, or at least your pilot. See, it's like we're not producing that many Vals. Okay. Yeah, a lot of these army planes I think I will probably abandon. So let's go back over here and let's take a look. Can I see the actual airframe stats? Yeah, here we go. Okay, building. Can I choose the engine? Right, we'll go with the HA-35. Right, HA-35, we'll go with all types. So you can see here, these are all the types of planes that we are actually, let's see, that we're building now. Let's see about available. So, there's a few of them that are available that we're not actually producing, which is interesting. Like this reconnaissance plane, and then these different fighters here. But if we compare the A6M20 and the Ki-43 IC Oscar, let's take a look then. What we'll do then is we'll go down to the actual aircraft comparison. So that's the Ki-43. Right, aircraft comparison. So we'll have the Navy and the Army over here. Fighter, A6M2, Ki-43 Oscar, wasn't it? Was it a LAT Oscar? IC Oscar, okay. Oh, the 2C Oscar, or 1C Oscar. Oh, is it not actually a army plane? Is it a naval plane? So it'd be great if I had a bit more knowledge about planes. Right, here we go. Is that Army or Navy then? Okay, it's Army. Right, there we go. Now this is what I'm looking at. So you can see availability, maximum speed. So the Ki-43 does actually have that speed over the, well actually let's put it on the right aircraft. Okay, no. The Zero does have a speed advantage over the Ki-43. The cruise speed is higher for the Zero, the endurance is higher for the Zero, the range is higher for the Zero. Just in general, range is much higher for the Zero. Altitude is higher for the Ki-43, which is actually quite an advantage. And another thing is the climb rate. So the climb rate and altitude is higher for the Ki-43, which is quite an interesting thing. By a good 6,000 odd feet, which is actually quite a big increase. The maneuverability is actually higher for the Ki-43, which is interesting. Durability goes to the Ki-43, armor, they're matched. The load, however, is higher over here, service rating, yep, okay. The gun value of the Zero is higher, so the Zero actually does have a better armament than the 43, which is probably why this has a higher climbing rate, due to maybe weighing less. However, this one is carrier vessel capable. Now, what that means is, basically, these things can land on carriers. They can be transported on actual carriers, so they can be used from a carrier, which is actually quite the important thing. Basically, what I'd like to do is use my aircraft carriers to actually transport my planes around the Empire. With the Ki-43, we'd have to have that baby packed up into cargo ships, or we'd have to fly out there, which is going to use a lot of supply for just moving something. So, I think what we might do then is potentially start the production of the Ki-43. So if we take a look at the actual aircraft production of the Ki-43, we can see here, let's go by history. So we're building 32 of these bad boys. There we go. Right, I'm looking for the HA-35. Okay. So I think we're building about 6 per day. So just we'll just do the maths on that one. Just make sure I'm right. Yeah, we're building about 6 engines per day, roughly. Okay. I just think that if we potentially stop this, we could actually increase the production of A6M2 airframes. We'd be using the HA-35 still, which we do have a good availability. Let's say that we're producing 180 per month. How many airframes are we producing? So we're producing about... Okay, 32 a month, 56. So if we actually increase the amount of the amount of A6M2 Zeros being produced, yeah, I think that's a better thing. We could actually just increase the amount of Zero production. It might hurt us by the fact that we have the Ki-43s. It's like they are being used. So let's take a look at the actual production here. So I'm looking at the Ki-43. Right, so the Ki-43. It's one of those. Do we make that choice to switch from the Ki-43 now and start increasing Zero airframe production now, which we could then upgrade in the future once we do have the different models of the Zero unlocked. So I'm going to take the choice of doing that. So I'm actually going to change the factory at Mabashi to Zero production. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, once we do this is a permanent change, we're going to lose all 32 of these factories. I think it's worthwhile if we can get the Zero out there pretty much in abundant numbers. We're going to need these babies. So we're going to change it to the A6M2 Zero. There you go, that change has been done. So if we go up here, sort by types, you can see here that we've lost a lot of those factories. What we'll do then is, there's not much point to expanding the factory right now, as the 22 factories need to be repaired. I'm in the wrong theatre. So, Perwin Rommel, how you doing, my dude? So yeah, I made that decision to actually do that. I'm not going to expand engine production because I don't need to. We're actually going to produce more engines in the meantime. I think you do gain an R&D benefit if you have around about 500 of a certain engine type. So I think you gain a bonus towards the production of a plane, or at least the research of a plane that does use that engine, as far as I'm aware. Obviously, I'm still learning as well. It's been a while since I actually played the game, so I'm still getting back into things. So hopefully we can learn it all together. But now we have a little bit of a mission here. I need to find a few more ships and send them out to certain ports so we can get things set up. So what we're going to do here is go by list all active ships. We're going to go all ships. We're going to go to the cargo ships. Oh, something I did as well off camera, besides getting most of the cargo fleet set up, is I went through to basically everywhere that has industry, and I increased the amount of supplies required here. Basically, they're going to gain more supplies. Supplies are going to be sent over here to be actually used in Japan, which is a good thing. As you need Supplies to actually repair. You need supplies to expand. And you need supplies to actually produce. So if we go back to the industry, you can see here heavy industry requires resources and resources and fuel. It produces supply. Okay. Right, so we need supply to do all the repairing, to do the expansion. We obviously need supply as well, which is there for the fuel. No. Okay, never mind. We just need supply. We don't actually need supply to create heavy industry. We need resources and fuel to create heavy industry. So just ignore me on that one. It's just trying to get it all convoluted. Well, I'm getting it all convoluted. Apologies about that. Just trying to learn. Okay, so that's another thing that we did there. I'm hoping that my madness is going to make sense. It will make sense over time. It's just a few concepts to explain. That's making it quite interesting. Right, so I need to find myself 10 Casu D class cargo ships. So we're going to have to go through here, figure out which is the ship I'm looking for. Okay. Yeah, I'd say this game is actually more complicated than Aurora, to be fair. Yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm going to be confident and say that this game is more complicated than Aurora, to be fair. For the Japanese, anyway. Right, so I'm looking for the Casu D class. I wish it would tell you. Or does it? No, that's a shame. Oh god, yeah, me too. I really can't wait for the day it becomes like C+ or whatever it is. Okay, ships. Ship classes. There we go. Available. Obviously IGN. If I can get the actual stats like endurance and that sort of thing, I could actually figure out what it is. So I'm looking for the Casu D. Casu D. Okay, so this baby here. Tonnage 1900. Endurance is 4. Is that it? That's some low-ass endurance. Then again, they're going to be for the close journeys. They don't need to have a lot of fuel. So we'll go down to 4,000. So I'm going to assume that these are the Casu Ds. Yeah, Casu Ds. We have a lot of these babies. So what we'll do then is we'll go to Tokyo Harbor. We'll go to the ships anchored here. We'll sort by the cargo ships. Surprisingly, we don't have any Casu Ds over here. So we'll go to the next port. Actually, if we go from here, we'll be able to find them. Okay. We'll go to Shanghai. Yep, here we go, these big Casu Ds. Oh no, that's actually a different class. I think their speed's 12, yeah, 12 knots. Awesome. So we're going to form a new task force. Cargo. There we go, we're going to grab the Casu Ds. So what's the general naval strategy for Glorious and Upon? Are you planning on using this the super anime carrier subs? You know, I'd like to. Actually, you know what? Something that I'm going to decide on really is a second strike against Pearl Harbor. Currently, the Kidabutai task force is heading back for Japan. We do have our oilers over here as well, which are just out of range. 2 destroyers guarding these oilers with the fuel in there. Basically, what I'm debating is a second strike upon Pearl Harbor. If we take a look here, we can see here the repair shipyard has only suffered light damage. I'd absolutely love to get some more damage to the repair shipyards. Basically, that's going to slow down America's recovery. And also, there's going to be a lot of ships that are going to be limping. Now, let's take a look at the actual supplies on board the carriers. So, yeah, we can still carry out a few sorties. We do have good numbers there. Net shipping task force. Right, Hero. Good to go. Good to go. Yeah, good to go. Okay, we've used a lot of torpedoes from the Akagi. But I do think it's worth it going for a second strike. And let's see, how many dive bombers and torpedo bombers do we actually have here? Once was not enough. I do think it's definitely worthwhile doing. We will probably take heavier losses, but the thing is, I reckon if we could inflict more damage now, it would be the best choice. It's like, if you take a look there, the airfield has 51% damage. That's a lot of damage. They're not going to be able to really respond as effectively now. There's going to be a lot of AA there, as well from the ships, but I think it's probably the best chance is going to be now. We can see that there's 115 ships in total in the port there. A lot of random shit. But if we could actually target good stuff, that'd be great news. Yeah, there's a lot of power there in terms of actual ground. And we also do need to decide what our submarines are going to be doing. We also need to figure out where the American carriers are as well. So that's our oilers. I think we need to find the I-22. We need to search this area. I think this area is where we might potentially find the American carriers. So we will try to search this area as much as possible. But we also do need to bear in mind as well that... let's take a look over here at the ship classes. Okay. So, US Navy, we're going to take a look at the carriers. The Lexington class carrier. Beautiful, beautiful aircraft carrier. But this baby, how much do you weigh? You weigh 36,000 tons. So if we go over here and take a look at the different ports. So let's take a look at the port of Osaka, for example. So the port of Osaka could handle 196,000 tons in total, 84,000 tons as a single ship. Well, docked, basically. I think this is how many can be actually in the harbour or something. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how it works. So that is a size 7 port. That's a size 10. I'm looking for something smaller. Okay, size 3 can't handle a Lexington. Let's see, if I sell my bases are probably a good idea. Port. Okay, so let's take a look at a size 4, 24,000 tons. Size 5. 36,000 tons. Okay, so basically, the Lexington has to find a size 5 port. Has to. There's nowhere else it could go. Absolutely nowhere else. So that really does bring down the number of places that Lexington could run to. So we have a size 7 port over here. If we basically surround Pearl Harbor with submarines, they're not going to be able to do much. They're not going to be able to do jack shit. So it cannot land over here. It cannot go into port over here or over here. Yep, there's not enough capacity here. Okay, so that's going to limit it even further. So there's none of these Hawaiian islands other than Pearl Harbor that could house it. Same again over here at Midway. No way she could go over there. Let's see. We do have Johnson Island. Nope, can't handle her. Let's see, further to south. Nope. Nope. Definitely not. Definitely not. So that's narrowing down the amount of places the Lexington could run to already, isn't it? Really, her best bet would probably, let's see. She can't run over here, she can't run here. Okay, so the Lexington really doesn't have that many places to run. Her best bet probably would be the American coast, where she's going to find plenty of ports that she could actually anchor into, well, dock into, or Australia, really. She would be able to go to a lot of these ports over here. So what we have is a process of elimination. So we need to find the nearest port that could actually handle her. And there's really not that many. Really not that many. Alright, Naval. No. Okay. Yeah. Red ships are Japanese ships. So red is Japanese, green is Allied forces. So it's like there's India over here. And the map is at an interesting angle, to be fair. So basically, through a processor elimination, let's grab my drawing tool over here. What we're going to do then is, we'll do it in like a yellow or something. So the only places that the Lexington could run to is the American coast over here. Possibly over here, I'd have to check. She could go to Vancouver as well, I guess. Or she has to go to Australia. I don't think there's really any other ports of significant size, at least a size great enough to actually house her nearby. I haven't checked New Zealand or most of these islands down here, but I don't think there's an island large enough to actually look after the Lexington. So really we have a 50% chance that she might run that way, or 50% chance that she might run this way, which is interesting. She only has a finite amount of fuel as well, which is quite interesting. Basically, how it works with task forces is the speed is very, very interesting. It's one of the best aspects of the game, in my opinion. The speed at which you move dictates the amount of fuel that you use. The faster you go, the more fuel that you use. The slower you go, the less fuel that you use. Cruising speed is like the most optimum for like time versus fuel use. So her speed is going to be, let's see. Whoops, not that. So her speed is going to be about 15 knots. Her maximum speed is 33 knots. So that's interesting. Let's compare that to the Japanese carriers. So the Japanese carriers, also British carriers over here. The Illustrious is such a nice looking aircraft carrier. Metal topped as well, which I think they were metal topped. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look. The speed over here, I'm looking for cruise speed. So cruise speed, the Akagi is the fastest carrier by cruise speed. The max speed belongs to, again, Japanese aircraft carriers. So Japanese aircraft carriers are more or less the same speed, but they do have a higher top speed. Just slightly. Endurance as well is something to take a note of. So she has an endurance of 10,000. She'll have a decent amount of fuel on board, but she's going to eventually run out. She needs to find somewhere. Yeah, my guess would be the American Pacific coast. Australia seems like more of a gambit given its proximity to you. Definitely, definitely. So, the Lexington only has so far she can go. So, let's see. Hex per day. Yeah, so she has a range of 250 hexes. So, she's going to use 21.73 units of fuel. So, fuel per day, she's going to be using about 304 fuel a day, roughly. So that's something to bear in mind. She does not have that long. She doesn't have the luxury of time. So really, we can assume she's going to be in the area somewhere in this area. Probably good chances around this area here. So what we need to do then is... See, in my first playthrough, the Lexington, or at least a American aircraft carrier, went on a bloody rampage around the Marshall Islands. So what we need to do then is basically set up our planes on naval watch, basically naval attack, and if she comes this way, we'll use these unsinkable aircraft carriers to hopefully land a killing blow. If she heads towards the American coastline, there's not as much I can do. I could move some of these submarines away, like the I-21, the I-19, the I-23. They could be moved towards the American coastline. This beauty over here, the I-26, does she have a float plane? Yes, she does have a float plane. She's equipped with a float plane. So this bad boy has a search radius of around about that, which is pretty damn decent. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So we'll have to make those choices. I've basically gone off on a big tangent here. Right. Then Hawaii and Guam. Yeah, Guam is probably... Let's check out Guam. So Guam couldn't house her. Guam's going to be invaded very shortly, actually. Yeah, there we go. We have our invasion fleets over here. They're going to be heading out very shortly. Yeah. So we have the carrier, the escort carrier Tayo. We're going to use her shortly in the future. She's going to be very, very handy. We also have the light cruiser, sorry, the light carrier Ryujo. She's going to be very handy. What is her mission? Her mission is combat. What is she equipped with? She has some A5M4s and some B5N1Ks. These are torpedo bombers. Okay, okay. So, guys, should we go for a second strike on Pearl Harbor? Should we take that risk and delay for another day, basically? Risk the loss of many Japanese pilots, many Japanese planes, but we do have the increased assuredness of delivering killing blows to American ships. And as well, if we do find the Lexington, we might be able to use the Kita Butai Task Force to actually hunt her down. Let's see, what does the task force have in terms of fuel? We do have the oilers nearby, so we could use that. So the fuel is... fuel. Endurance isn't too bad, actually. Not bad on fuel. I think we could probably last maybe a few more days out there. Try and take that base down, my boy. Yeah. I think I'm going to set up a second strike against Pearl Harbor then. We'll do something like this. This is going to be one of the more interesting things. So let's take a look then. So we'll set up the missions. So what we'll do then is we'll have her destination changed. She's well within range of Pearl Harbor, to be fair. What I might want to do is... Well, I have a great number of submarines between me and the Americans over here. We are escorted by 2 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, a light cruiser, and a good number of destroyers. So we do have a decent number of... Well, a decent number of actual surface combat ships to protect us. Which I feel somewhat confident about. So we'll have her maintain her position over here. So Kita Butai will maintain position. Okay, don't return. Right, just change that and then it should reset. Okay, so we're going to have her stay in place here. Stop doing that bloody routing stuff. There we go. She just really wants to go home, doesn't she? Stop it. Okay, there we go. So we'll change that. Okay, she's going to move over here now. Do I want to head towards this way? I might want to head a few kilometers south, actually. I guess we'll head a few kilometers south here. We might actually then be able to use... Actually, no, let's see. So we can increase the max reaction. So that's 2 hexers, so 1, 2... So we have that around us where we would react to things. So we'll use that then. Actually, I'm going to change it down to 1, just so we don't engage something when I don't need to. So what we're going to do then is set up our missions here. So we're going to go ahead and, yeah, see, they've taken a bit of beating here, but we do have enough zeros. They basically just need to run the cover here. So let's see, they're going to be on escort duty. Well, they're on airfield attack at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have them on escort duty, so I'm going to have all carrier fighters and fleets set to carrier, well, to basically escort duty. Let's see, what altitude should we have them at? We could have them at any altitude, I guess. I'm going to say... Yeah, their altitude is pretty damn low here. We'll have them at about 20,000 feet. I could have them at higher, to be fair. We'll have them about... let's see, how high could we go? 32,000 feet. We'll escort from about... We'll escort from about 25,000 feet. Okay, so that is all the fighters done. They're now set to escort. Now, basically what they will do is they will escort the actual flights from the task force. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our naval bombers. So again to the cargo. So we'll have a look at our Vals. Now, these babies are our bombers. Let's see. Aircraft data. So they're going to carry the general purpose 250 kilogram bomb. It's not exactly amazing, but it's okay. Now I could have this on port attack, where it's going to actually hit facilities at the actual port, or we could have it set towards actual torpedo bombers. Hit them again, go for 3 days of raiding. Losses may be heavy, but in the long run you will take lesser losses. That's very true, actually. I think we'll see what the loss rate is like, what the American response is like, and then, importantly, if there is the presence of American carriers nearby, that's going to dictate a lot of things. Okay. Could be important Moresby. That's another choice. Your losses will be replaced first. Solidify the Western Pacific after round 2. Very good. Okay, so we're going to set this up. Okay. So, torpedoes. I think we'll go for about 2,000 altitude. That's probably good. For bombers, again 2,000. 2,000 will do quite nice. So that altitude here is 10,000 feet. We'll bring it down to 2,000 feet. I think that's going to be probably good. Okay. Yeah. 2,000 feet. I think that's when they start using most of their skills. Let's see, the commander. pilots. Yeah, here we go. You can see here experience. We can actually go by kills here, to be fair. Nobody here has any confirmed kills. We do have some missions. I'll tell you what this is. Okay. So experience, naval bombing. Yeah, so you can see here our pilots here, their ranks. And I think these certain skills kick in at a certain altitude. Okay. So, yep, we're going to have them. Do I want to have them on... Well, it needs to be on port attack anyway. So, we'll have it on port attack. So, what we're going to do then is I'm going to choose a target, which is going to be Pearl Harbor once more. Pearl Harbor has been selected as the target. I'll just do that again, just make sure that we have everybody selected. Yeah, they should be doing that. I'll just double check. So that is our dive bombers. Just check it with the other carriers, make sure everybody's doing the same thing. Okay. 2,000 feet, port attack, Pearl Harbor, fantastic. Right, so now we're going to go to arcades. Now these are the babies that are going to actually deliver the damage. These are the guys. These are the darlings that will do this. That will actually be of greatest use and really deliver the pain. So we're going to have them at about 2,000 feet. Could have them differences, but we'll just go for about 2,000 feet. Keep it all in line. It's like my fighters are going to be much higher than the bombers. So I might want to drop it down to about 20,000 feet, potentially. I don't know, it's one of those. Do I want to have them... or 15,000. We'll have them at 20,000 feet then. So their altitude's quite high. We'll bring that down to 2,000 feet. Okay. Pearl Harbor once more. Okay. There we go. So we have a second attack run set up for the attack on Pearl Harbor, at least the second attack. Now I'm going to have the Oiling Task Force move just down this way. Basically remain nearby, but not too close as to be detected. Okay. Now we do have the invasion of Midway over here. So we have the two destroyers. Actually, it just seems like they're just strolling by. So to be fair, I think I might have the oiler actually combined there. Yeah, we'll combine them. That's more so for security, so they're going to head back to Etorufu. So that's fine, I just want them to be safe, pretty much. So we have a second strike lined up over here. We'll issue orders to all the actual, well, submarines in the area eventually. We just have to set up the actual... cargo ships, basically. Okay, just one moment. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I hope everybody is happy. Right, yeah, so the Kasudis. I forgot about those Kasudis. So let's go through the ports and see if we can find some Kasudis. Look at... Are these the Kasudis? No, these are Kiso-E's. Close, close. Not seeing the Kasudis there. How about it, Nagasaki? No. I've got one of them over here. Okay, so the Kasudi is going to be sent to Fusan. Got up you over here. Yep. Oh no, that's in the Cassie. That's the one I want. Kasudi. Okay, so you need to go to Fusan. Now I need to remember where the F Fusan actually is. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, you can see it's such a short trip that the endurance really does not matter. It's great like that. So that's one of them. Let's see if we can find any more. We do have another one over here. So we only need 8 more now. How about at Port Arthur? Do we have any more? None. Not seen any. Okay. I miss a few of these. Right, the only way Jobs can win if they hit America hard enough. Yeah, that's true. An invasion of Pearl would really set them back. Yeah, I'd get a lot of victory points for that. Basically, decisive blows constantly. That only works if the American plan is not to fight a war of attrition. If that is the American plan, eventually Japan will be worn down, correct? When the Japanese is worn down, that is when extra damage. You want to getting hit by an enemy? Yeah. Massive air groups, indeed. Is Chiang Kai-shek dead yet? No, he's not dead yet. He needs to keep America on the back step. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah, very true. Right, okay. So I need to find myself another 8 of those transports. Okay, let's go through that. It seemed to work the best anyway, didn't it? So we've got Shanghai, which we've already sent one from, I do believe. Yeah, there's no if or buts. It's like either we have a chance of winning or we have 0 chance of winning. It's kind of like how it works. You. I also have a few over here, actually. Okay, so that's another 3, I believe. To Fusan. Oh yeah, we do have these. Oh, that's a Gozan. Okay, so I don't think I set them up. Did I not set them up? So I have 3 over there. I have 1 coming from over here, so that's 4. We have 1 over here, I think. No? Okay, we're just going to assume that we have 4. Yeah, we have a couple over here, so that's another 2. Just check that. Yep, Cassidy. And another. So that takes us up to 6. Awesome. There's a head into Busan. Very short trip there. It's going to be very, very efficient. Right. Osaka / Kyoto. New task force. Here we go. Ooh, we have a good view. So what was I at? 6? I was at 6, wasn't I? I'm losing count. I'm not actually not paying attention and forgetting. I think we need 1 more then. Not any closer? I just need the one more, really. Yeah, here we go. The one more. Fantastic. I think that's all of them. At least the Casu D. God damn it. There we go. Awesome. Right, so you're going to head to Fusan. So basically, these transport ships are going to head to Fusan. They're going to transport resources from Fusan and take them to Shimanashki, however the hell you say it. And that's going to be great. And the enemy can't fight a war of attrition, your nation can't. That means you need to land a decisive blow ASAP. And the chance of recovery is extremely long. Yeah, very, very true. If you fail to land that blow, you lose. True. Right, so we've done that with the Casu Ds. Let's just check what I've done. So far I've sent 12 Yusen N classes to the Porto Toyohara, 6 Yusen A classes to the Porto Kushiro, 10 Kazudis to Fusan, 28 Gosen class carriers to Hakodate, 9 Lima class cargo ships to Kijo, 30 Aiden class cargo ships to Shanghai, 23 Lima class cargo ships to Port Arthur. So you need to send now 27 Toho cargo ships to Sapporo and 40 Akasi to Port Arthur. So this isn't going to take us too long, really. Once we have this done, then that's like the most grueling part done. So what we're going to do is going to find those models of ships. Available, yes. Okay. Right. Cassie has an extremely good load. Let's see. Right. Cassie. Like Cassie. Here we go. Okay, awesome. So, the endurance is very good, actually. Very good. Right, yeah, that's what we want, the fuel. Cargo capacity is very nice. Obviously, these babies can't exactly carry liquid. They're not really meant to. So, yeah. These are going to be good at carrying these cargo. Well, the resources. So, 10,200 speed is... Is that maximum speed? Max speed, alright, okay. 12 knots. 10,200, 12 knots. Easy enough, easy enough. Good endurance there, quite good. Well, we just need to find the American carriers, really. If we can get lucky and find the American carriers, would be hella good. It's the amount of carriers the Americans will put out there, that's the issue. And just the size of those air groups. So, Nagoya. Yep, there's one. Okay, just the one. Well, that's going to be somewhat irritating. Okay, so 39 left. So we need to send these babies. Where do we need to send these babies? These babies need to be sent. Okay. To Port Arthur. $39 to go. I'm sorry about this, guys. Hopefully it should go pretty quickly. Oh, we have a good view here. Okay. 37. None here. Again, none. If we have to, we have to. I'd rather be closer to that, well, at least he'll eventually arrive. Yeah, we do have 2 over here. Take us to 35 then. Okay. And to Port Arthur we go. Kobe. Okay, a few more over here. 33. It's going down quickly enough. Four, 33, 32. We're going to see a lot of ship movement. Just a lot of it. Oh, 31, 30, 29, 28. It's going down quickly enough now. Nagasaki. So 26. There's a lot of ships heading this way. I'm gonna have to rearrange them once they all arrive. Be well worth it though. $27. $26. 25. Going down quickly enough. Here we go. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. About halfway there now. 19, 18. There more in Shanghai? Hmm. 16 left. Okay. $15. Nearly done now. Oh, we have some Fusan. How nice. 14. Yeah, these are some way out. There we go. $13, $12. These are going to take some time. There might be quite severe risk too. We'll have to see. Just 11 left. Because they've got good endurance, they're not going to be using much in the way of fuel, often anyway. $10. Oh, looks like we have a few down here. That's great news. Ideally, we have a lot of them. Yep. 9, 8, 7, 6. Awesome. Five. Yes, it's going to be a hell of a mission sorting these all out when they arrive. Four, 3, 2. Great, just 2 more now, and then we're done. Just 1 left. It's not taking us that long, really. Just the final one. That was one out of Hiroshima, actually. There we go, final one. Awesome. So that is all the Ashin class, or the Asin. The hell, it's Akashi class? That was it, Akashi. Right, so that's all 40 of those on the way. Awesome. Okay, I missed a few comments here, let's see. Yeah, we need Indonesia, that's true. Can someone give me a quick sit rep on what is happening? Just came in, I have very little understanding of War in the Pacific. Basically, we've just had the first turn. Basically, like the 7th of December has gone ahead, and we're now on the 8th of December. So what we have is the Kiributai task force over here, just outside Pearl Harbor, we have just set up for a second strike against Pearl Harbor, hopefully to deliver a more damaging blow. For what purpose is the manual somewhere available online? Yeah, I'd imagine you'd be able to find the manual somewhere. It's a very in-depth game. It's really worthwhile though. So I noticed as well moonlight percentage, it's like the level of moonlight. This is going to impact on things. Like, the less moonlight you have, the harder things are to spot. The more moonlight, the better. Works it for us and against us. Okay, let's just check. Do I have anything else I need to send? I don't believe so. Oh, just the Toho class cargo ship. So we need to find the Toho. Only got to send 27 of those bad boys, so that's not going to take us as long. Right, 8,900. And 11. Oh, max speed's 14. Okay. I'll say 8,900. We have a lot of cargo ships. Just a lot of those bad boys. Right, 8,900. Let's check. Yeah, Toho. So we need 27 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are sending these guys to... The Japanese were quite good at knife fighting, yes. So 24 to... Sapporo. Sapporo? Which is... somewhere... over the rainbow. Sapporo. I can't remember what it is. Okay. Is that how you spell it? Let's have a look. Sapporo. Oh. Yeah, Sapporo. Not exactly what I was looking for. Genuinely no help. Okay, does anybody know where Sapporo is? We'll find out. Oops. Oh, Hokkaido. Oh yeah, here we go. Thank you, Akilaras. Right, there we go. So, 27, so, 27, 26, 25, 24. 123 left to send. Okay. Good number in Tokyo. Well, oh well. 22 left to send. I'm sorry guys that you have to watch this. I really wish it was quick and easy to do. But it's just a sheer number of ships from different ports that we need to send. At least you guys get to see how to do it yourselves. And where to send them. Right, okay. 21, 20, 19, 18. At least there's a few of them bunched up. $17, $16, $15, I probably miscounted, not gonna lie. Oh, you're right nearby. $14. $13, $12, $10. Okay, at least we've almost done with this, which is nice. I might just save this and just use this as like a base file in the future, to be fair. Actually, to be fair, I could actually just get this save and host it, and then you guys who want to play along, at least you could have all this done for you, and then at least that's a lot of the groundwork done for you. So I think I'll do that, actually. I think I'll have this file up and available then if somebody wants to use it, I guess. Probably the nicest thing to do. Nine. Not just the one. Boo. Oh, nice. 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, it's going to take about 2 weeks, I guess, for everybody to arrive. Be well worth it when they do that. Free. Yeah, drop them a little bit closer if I can. 2. Hopefully there's 2 here. Ah, just the 1. Oh, well, almost done now. Sendai. There we go, our final one. The Monji Maru. There we go, so we have all of our transport ships ready now. Basically, they're all going to be sent out on the 3rd day, and they're going to arrive, which is going to be fantastic. And then we can set up the proper like, shipping routes, which is going to be good. Once we have those set up, we can start to defend them. So, with that, that is a lot of things really done now, which is quite good. Okay. Okay. Now, what we could do is we could actually have some transports from these ports over here, like Fukushima, etc. They could gather what they already have here in Fukushima, for example, and then we could have that sent to basically here to where they could be either disbanded or used for other things. So, these guys can carry troops. This is already in a task force, actually. So what we're going to do then is going to take these ships over here. There we go. So what do we have here? We have 3... Oops. So we have 3 Tosu cargo class, and then 1 Daigen cargo. So what we'll do then is we'll have you start loading resources over here, which will then transfer over to Shimaneshiki, how the hell you say it. Let's see what we have in Shanghai. At least this way we can get ships out of the way and start to get some resources moving very quickly from China, Korea, that sort of thing. We'll have them head in groups of similar speeds. That's all that matters. Okay. Load resources. Yeah, these will do. Load resources. This is good. So at least we're going to have a lot of resources already been loaded. So it's going to take a little while for everything to get going, but at least once every cargo ship that should be in place will be in place within about a 2-week period. After that will be good, we can get that running. But at least in the meantime, we're going to be able to get like some resources already moving to the home island, which is important. Mostly because it's going to make it easier on us, and the Allied submarine campaign isn't going to be as effective to begin with. It's going to be there, but it's not going to be as, like, powerful. Okay, a few more bad boys up here. Now we'll start loading those resources. Awesome. Now from Port Arthur. There's really nothing there, fine. How about Gijo? That's very, very fast. That's actually a really good ship. Very, very good. Cargo capacity is very impressive too. Cargo capacity, sorry. Right, so we're going to have you carry resources. Load those bad boys. Okay. Toyohara. Toyohara. From there. There's the battle. There we go. There's some security, basically flotillas. Right, load resources. Okay. Righto. Let's see Saigon. Now what we need to do then is actually go over here. We're going to go and take a look at resources. So, yeah, you can see there's a good number of resources over here in Korea, Central China, Manchuria, well, Manchukuo, Indochina. We need to get all these moving. Saigon. Let's see, in terms of fuel, oil is... Or do we just take fuel? Fuel's probably a very good one to take, but we don't have much really available to move fuel as such right now. When I have my oilers, I can use those oilers to actually start moving, obviously, oil. But that's pretty decent, like minefields. So you can see here we have a number of minefields set up. Right, yeah, they're tenders. Okay. Intel. Right, so at the moment we don't have any alerts. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to capture 509 worth of oil refinery, 125 resource centers, 811 oil centers. So that's what we need to get the economy going. Like at the moment, we're draining 8,110 units of oil from our stockpile. We do have over 3 million, so it's gonna be decent. But let's work this out then. So let's work out how many days worth of oil we have. So 3,223,861 divided by 8,110. So we have about 397 days worth of oil. Just over a year's worth of oil. Resources are much better, really. So, yeah, we have a lot of resources. So 319,901 divided by 2,500. Yeah, we have a few years worth of resources. It's oil that's going to be the killer. Fuel. So our fuel stockpile, 4,553,735 divided by 4,585. So we have about 993 days of fuel. The issue is oil. Once oil goes, obviously things are going to be significantly different. So let's say we have about 300 odd days before the Japanese economy will start to tank. I mean, once the oil runs low, it's not the end of the world. It's like we'll start producing, but the thing is we've got to have those resources present there. There's not this big stockpile that we can draw from. So we just need to reverse this. We need more oil. We need 810 oil centers. So what we can do is we can actually take a look at our objectives. So let's see. Bring up the pen. Let's bring that up. Just okay. So this is a prime objective. Route 9 is a prime objective. Let's see where other sources of oil or fuel are. Yeah, 900 oil over here. Just a good amount of oil here, actually. There's another one. Some oil there. Some oil there, and refineries too, actually. Yeah, there's really fuck all oil there, to be honest. Ooh, yeah, that's what we need, maybe. I think that adds some oil too. Good amount of oil there. And here too. Importantly, refineries. And over there. Okay. So objectives in this relatively small area. Was it here or here? I think it was here. So yeah, we have a number of objectives in this immediate area, where if we take these, we can actually support the oil needs of the Empire. Which is good to know. It's good to know. So bear this in mind, guys. So that's what we're going to need. So close that. Awesome. Okay. And that's what we need to work on. So these landings are set up and ready to go. Now what we have here is these submarines. I think what we're going to do is... I think we'll set up submarine orders to begin with. So what we'll do then is we'll start over here and we'll start with these. Okay. You're heading out this way. So it seems all of them are set to return. Right, this midget submarine is not exactly going to make it, is it? The I-20 is a midget sub-carrier. Now the midget sub is effed. It's got no chance in hell. It's not going to make it. But what we need to do then is we need to explore this area. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to have our mission. Okay, sub patrol. The I-20. So the I-20 has a good amount of, well, fuel basically in her. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the maximum reaction on. So if it detects something within 1 hex of it in all sides, it will react to it and engage. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a patrol zone. We'll have it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to assume this to be... We'll go something like that vicinity. Yeah, okay. You can just explore this area here. Make sure we have everybody on max react. Now the midget submarine can't make it anyway. It's kind of fucked. In all fairness, it might as well head towards here when it might be able to do something. Head down south. Basically what I want to do is cover all areas. I want to find those aircraft carriers. Right, drop the HA-24. There we go. Okay, you got your patrol zone. You got yours. Okay. Actually, probably better off moving. Probably this way. Okay, so we have these submarines out to hunt down any activity in this area. We'll have the same. We'll have something of a... I suppose if we could set it up. It would be great if I could set it up, but basically, like concentric rings. Obviously, the concentric rings on the outside can be hard. It's like, this is probably what we'd want to patrol with, like, aircraft. This... Not so bad, I could do it with submarines. This is, like, going to be like a danger zone, pretty much. Okay, weird. Strange. I don't exactly want you to have a destination. There we go. Right. This one's just pissing me off. Okay, you sorted. So I'm just right-clicking to cancel that destination. Trying to vicinity there. There we go. This one will redo. There we go. So at least we have this area more or less covered. So it's like we have a lot of submarines in the area that do have a potential to find possibly the American carriers. Ideally we do find it. Ideally we do get a few hits into there. Like if we could find it, then we can definitely kill it. That's what I really want. Because my god, if I can take down an American carriers, I will be very, very happy. So, let's hope for the best. The rest of the submarines are basically going to have patrol around these islands. Make it pretty much hell for anything to move around here. If anything tries to get away, it's going to be destroyed. Just patrol around Pearl Harbor, to be honest. Well, these other islands too. There we go. Lovely. Let's get them all on mass react first. There we go. Pearl Harbor. It seems laborious, but once it's all set up, and we finally get into the next turn, it's all going to be worthwhile. We'll have this one just patrol around the space here. There we go. Just a couple more now, and then we'll be done. Right, we'll cancel these move orders. I reckon we have a good chance of finding the American carriers, or at least some American ships. I think we're going to find something. I mean, the amount of torpedoes we have in the waters is quite scary. Right, okay. So we'll explore on this side. Well, we'll patrol around this side, I reckon. There we go. How's your campaign going? Really? We're only on the second term. We haven't actually, we haven't really got much done yet. Basically got all these submarines set up now for their orders. Just a couple more. Right, endurance is very high. I think these guys we ought to send towards the American coastline. Probably the best way to use them. And if we actually interdict these American shipping lines, or shipping lanes, I think that'd be great news. So patrol off the coast of San Francisco. Right, we're almost done with all the submarine orders in this area at least. And to be honest, if we don't intercept the American carriers, at least we have a chance of intercepting them when they get home. So that's pretty cool. We'll be able to remain on station in these areas for a while. Right, around San Diego. There we go. Yeah, first strike at Pearl was not stellar. Could have been better. Okay, there we go. Right, so that's pretty much all the submarine orders. We have Kitabutai given orders to. We'll have you given orders. I'll raid Panama. That's true, actually. We'll have you patrol around San Diego. What's up there, Kusar? How you doing, my dude? There you go. We don't want to stray too close to mines, basically. Right. So, all of the ships over this way have been given orders. So all of this is done. We do have something down here, actually. What do we have? We have the armed merchant ships. Fairly well armed, actually. Do I use them for raiding? That's the thing here. Do we actually use them for raiding? They're not so bad, I guess. They do have a decent range on these babies. They actually do. They're actually not bad, you know. They're not bad. We could have them help in the hunt for the American carriers. Like, I mean, if they got caught, they'd be absolutely fucked. We'll have them carry on moving up this way. They're going to patrol these areas anyway of their own accord, so that's absolutely fine. So we'll have them continue with those orders. That's fine by me. What do we have over here? We have a submarine. Okay. Yeah, raid the Australian to USA trade routes. Let's see, can we find something? Just gonna see if we can find something about the trade routes. Right, okay. We'll patrol this area, I guess. I guess we could patrol around Sydney. Yeah, we'll patrol in the vicinity of Sydney. It's going to do a lot of scouting work on the way down there anyway. Right, the Marshall Islands. So we do have a number of ships over here. Right. So what do we have? We have the Makin invasion force. I mean, there's really nothing there, but it's going to be worthwhile. It's another island to take control of. Right, so these are shorter range submarines. I think we'll have them patrol the area, I guess. Let's see, what do we actually have around the Marshall Islands? Because we do need to run security our own. But we do have a number of air assets. So what do we have in the area? Good number of bombers, actually. These are very good bombers. Good range. Yep. What do they carry? They carry... machine guns? Okay, they're fighters. That's fine. That's fine. What's your war plan, if I may ask? Okay, the war plan is going to be, for the love of God, to try and find the American carriers around here. But more or less historical to a degree. We're going to basically rush the invasion of Malaya as much as possible, advance into Indonesia as quickly as possible, and I'm thinking what I might do is take some later invasion forces, like potentially, let's see, Kota Baru third wave, Singapore follow-up, the Vigan invasion, which obviously down here at the Philippines. How big is the Australian fleet? I'm not entirely sure. We'll basically put together our own invasion fleet. I could take, let's see, what do we have at Tokyo? At Tokyo, we have a guards mixed brigade or battalion, something like that. Yeah, mixed brigade. So we have a good number of forces over here. What I could potentially do is like put together an invasion fleet from the Japanese home islands, and then we have it sent down to Rabaul. And the idea is to take Rabaul and then jump to Port Moresby, basically lock down this area. Okay. Right. Wake invasion force. I want these guys to patrol this area. So we'll have 2 submarines on Wake. Well, I'll have a submarine on Wake, I guess. The others will just patrol this area because there's a good chance that the American carriers might come this way. And I really do not want that to happen. At least I don't want them to actually be able to make it through. Okay, something like that would be nice. At least we're gonna have this area sort of covered by submarines. So how powerful is America in this game? Basically, it's like unless we actually inflict crippling blows upon the American Navy early, or at least the Allied navies early, we're going to basically lose inevitably. It's going to be about 1943, 1944 that we really see the effects. It's more like keeping the economy going, to be honest. If we can keep the economy going, we'll be good. Okay. Submarines. Because of the possibility of an American carrier that's coming this way, I'm going to use these submarines defensively, to be honest. Have them basically patrol the Marshall Islands and prevent any withdrawal, I guess, for an American carrier if it does come this way. I say that because it's happened to me before, and I lost a lot to that. I lost quite a bit, so I don't want that to happen again. I can patrol around here in Australian waters, well, around Australian territory too, which is good, so that's fine. around Ocean Island. Okay, so that's all the submarines set up over here. We do our invasion, so the Tawara invasion, the Wake invasion, which is obviously going to head over that way. Okay, so what do we have in port over here then? So we have... Okay, so we have the light cruiser Katori, which is not bad. She's armed with actual search aircraft too. Her guns aren't too bad, 14 centimeters, so 140mm guns. Her speed is pretty decent. Do we have anything else here? See, a single light cruiser would be just picked off. Right, we do have a number of patrol boats. We're going to have to set up all these patrol boats, which is going to take a hell of a long time, not even going to lie. So probably what I'll do with those bad boys is really just have them set up off camera, which is coming up round about any second now, to be fair. So, let's go over what we've done so far. So, we have gone in here. We've taken out the KI-43 1C Oscars. Basically, we've changed the factory over the production at Mbaishi to produce more A6M2s. And then if we go back to our production here. So airframes, yeah, we're going to stop producing the KI-43s. We're going to try to increase the amount of A6M2 zero production. And then using our R&D, we'll eventually start our way down to the KI-43s. To the A6M2s. So, we're going to go from the A6M2 to the A6M3 to the A6M3A, M5, 5B, 5C, eventually to the A6M8. If we compare this to the Americans, so we'll look at the US Navy. Plane type, let's see, carrier. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, so let's throw up our own here. So, Japanese Navy, fighter, 0. Seems we're probably going to be dealing with some Buffaloes. Yeah, they do get some very good planes. Probably going to be starting off against the Buffaloes, because we do have a... Yeah, hey, this is more durable, has better altitude, but is really outclassed in speed to a degree. Its cruise speed is a lot higher. Altitude is not much of a difference. This is a slightly better climb rate. Maneuverability is where it's at though. Then we move on to the F2A3. So this is what we're going to be using on some carriers as well. So this is going to be using for a while. So we're not going to get this until theoretically 42. So this is what we're going to be facing in 41. So we'll keep it 41. Wildcats 41 as well. We'll be seeing these babies. Not as armed. Speed isn't as good. Maneuverability is poor too. Okay, now, yeah, Wildcat, the F43. Climb, well, altitude's pretty good. It's the maneuverability and speed that we're looking at. Speed is actually almost at the zeros. Now we're in 42, so we'll move on to A6M3. Yeah, clearly superior. Endurance is actually better over here. Still better maneuverability, which is what we need. Durability is high for the Americans. Indeed. Okay, okay. If we take a look at our ship production. So we have stopped the production of the Shinano. We've accelerated the production of the Unru class carriers. So we're going to see those sooner than we would have otherwise imagined, actually. So we'll quickly go over here. Where's Where's that? Oh, shit. Ah, here we go. Yeah. So normally would have seen these in 1944, the 6th of August 1944, but now we're going to see them 8th of April. The Amagi, 10th of April. The Katsusudagai in May. So yeah, we've really speeded that up. The Shinano will probably never be finished. That's fine by me. We'll see the Yamato. It's like if I accelerated that, it's a hell of a cost in terms of like heavy industry. But we'd see that the 27th of February 42. But we're going to see the Yamato in May. And we're going to actually use the Yamato. Like, she's an incredibly heavily armoured beast. Like, she'll be able to take a punch, is what I'm saying. Which is pretty decent. It's like, if she can take that punch, basically protect us, she's going to be able to use these colossal guns as well. These guns will do some huge damage. We're going to make sure we use the Yamato. Ideally, if we can use the Yamato and the Musashi in a same invasion force, basically use these babies to attack Pearl Harbor, that'd be amazing. Like, these guns would really put the hurt down. Just great news. Right, so in the following episode, what we're going to do then is, well, in the following season, well, stream, things will be more interesting, I suppose. We're going to be doing more military-related efforts. We're going to issue the orders to the Marshall Islands in terms of air forces, issue the orders down here, and then just issue the orders over here. We'll deal with the war in China, set out our goals, and yeah. Once we have all of this down, I'd say the first/second turn is by far the longest, and then after that things start flowing a lot more smoothly. So thank you guys, I hope you've all enjoyed this, and if you have and you do wish to support me, I would be very pleased if you were able to actually support me on Patreon, as that would be great. So I'm going to bring the link up over here so you guys can see it, and it would be fantastic if you could actually support me on that, as it really does allow me to keep going with this. If I can find bloody Patreon, I'm going to have to go into my own bloody crap and bring this up. Sorry to shield myself, but I need to eat. Okay. There we go. I have no idea what to add in terms of rewards, so you guys give me an idea. But yeah, if you could pledge something towards my Patreon, that'd be fantastic. So I'm going to put the link in the description. And if anybody could contribute, that'd be great. Thank you very much. I hope you guys have a great evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Until next time, goodbye for now. See you all very, very soon. Probably going to be a couple days before the next episode, as I'm going to get all the orders done for like sub chasers and that sort of thing. Get all that done. So until next time, goodbye guys.